Hey, it's me, Caleb. Um, this week, Module 4, readings 4.1 to 4.6. I'm going to kind of do things a little different this week. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go off some excerpts that I kind of picked out from each of the readings and kind of go off what they are. Some of the excerpts I agree with, some of them I disagree with, some of them I just find really interesting, and I just want to kind of go off them. So for the first one, 4.1, which is the romantic relationships overview, one of the most important things that I kind of saw that pointed out to me was the passionate love and passionate love and compassionate love. The differences between the two, but the same, where, with the passion love, you have such an exhilarating love for someone, and you want to share it with them and be with them, and then at the same time it can be very painful, because if they don't love you back, then it's kind of, you have the anxiety, is what the reading's saying. And then compared to companionate love, where you guys have a love and shared time and activities together, and the distinction is that the relationships are based on primaries of the passionate love that will terminate unless the passion cools over time into a more enduring and stable compassion love. So this is, it's kind of tough, because there's not a real difference between them, because to have the compassionate love, you need to have the passionate love first. But it just says that it needs to cool over time, which I agree. You fall so hard for somebody sometimes, and you can't move on past it, and it's very hard for you to see it any other way. And so that's something that in a lot of relationships now sometimes is the lacking thereof, is that there is passion love at first, but then the compassionate love that continues through activities and things together sometimes isn't there, and it doesn't cool, and then the relationship is kind of damaged. And then when he talks about the romantic relationships and social networks, and the number of shared associations with families and couples and everything like that, it's kind of hard to distinguish it, and there's a lot of work sometimes to be made in those. So that's kind of what something I kind of took out of the 4.1 is just more about the difference, but the capabilities connecting passionate love and compassionate love. Going into 4.2, which is the online dating and relationships. One of the biggest things that stood out to me when I was reading is kind of the statistics. The attitudes towards online dating are becoming more positive over time. This was kind of shocking to me. It was really interested me, because I don't know, I've always kind of been, no online dating. That's kind of weird. That's kind of a awkward thing. And then to see that 59% of all internet users with the statement, online dating is a good way to meet people, that's a lot of people. That's over half. That really shocked me, that, that many people in today's society are really stepping up to the plate. And then the 53% of the internet usages agree with the statement, online dating allows people to find a better match for themselves. Like I said in my previous, in the first writing and in the first couple reading reactions, I said that, I would be kind of against that, finding somebody online, but, more and more people, over 50% again, are saying, they find a better match. And then, the biggest one is 21% of all internet users agree with the statement that people who use online dating sites are desperate. That is, I don't know. That shocked me. I wasn't prepared for that. I guess it just shocks me. I wouldn't expect that out of this kind of a situation where people would be that way, would think that way, that in today's society it's kind of moving on. It's just the statistics keep going on in this article that just really blew my mind. 42% of all Americans know an online dater, and 29% know someone who's used online dating to find a spouse or a long-term relationship. That's a lot of people. That's becoming kind of a social norm. And I guess to me it's shocking, because I don't see it that way, but I guess, maybe I'm a little closed-minded, and it's kind of opening me up to see this more. In section 4.3, which, hold on, let me pull up, the digital dating and romance, the biggest thing that stuck out to me was on one of the pages, it says, some students respond to breakups by displaying the relationship problems on their Facebook profile by changing in a relationship status to it's complicated to ultimately single, some responding by eliminating their relationship status after a breakup. That is such a normal thing now, and that I agree with that 100% in the reading, that is 100% what happens now. Is people display their relationship problems, connections, anything like that on Facebook for everybody to see, and they make it a big deal, a big social deal, because they have to. It's this something that everybody does now. And then it continues on saying a small number of students who would even deactivate their Facebook accounts. I know people who've done that, who after a breakup, they just delete their Facebook, delete their Twitter, delete every social media network site, just to make it a big deal, just to make it known, make it more exaggerated. And I think that's 100% why people do it, is to exaggerate the situation. So that's kind of where I was on the 4.3 with digital dating and romance nowadays. Going into 4.4, making it Facebook official. Oh man, this is the funniest thing. And just in the article, I mean, like women, however, men honestly have motives for going FBO. They wish for these are women, other potential males, and secure access to their, have exclusive access to their romantic partners. Compounding these differences in romantic relationships are observed differently in SNSs, social media network sites, used impossible due to existing sex role expectations. Women report more frequent use of SNS than men. My favorite is this section right here where it says men and women will report different beliefs about the implications of being Facebook official. What motives do emerging adults have for the becoming of Facebook official? Men and women will different motives becoming Facebook official, and it kind of goes into the motives being like, well, they want to protect each other, they want to make it known to other people that, hey, this is my girl or this is my guy, back off, we're together, look how cute we are, showing off, gloating, glory, so many things on why FBO, and it kind of goes into that article, and I just really it had us dead on what happens is people really use the Facebook official term, because if it's not Facebook official, is it real? That's the question. Even if it's FBO, it has to be FBO for it to be real. Say Susie and Jack are dating and everybody, who is it, FBO? Is it FBO? Why does it have to be FBO? Why can't it just be, they're dating, that's all that matters? But, in today's society now, it's not real unless they're FBO. Going into 4.5, the soft breakup. This is something, again, that I totally agree with, and it just interests me that there's actual journals written about it. I'm sorry. I'm going to read this short passage from it, and it just makes me laugh every single time. By impeding a definite ending, technology has created what relationships researcher Scott Stanley dubs the soft breakup. There are so many easy, cheap ways to stay in contact now. With the wall of silence, friendly text messages, you can take the edge off of breakups. The soft breakup gives us a new way of saying, I don't want to date you, but let's try and be friends. Every ex that anybody's ever had always says that, well, I want to be friends afterwards, and it never works. It never works. But that people try that and try the soft breakup is insane. I just can't believe that's something that people really do. That people try and have this soft breakup so it's easy, because breakups are painful, and they want to try and continue the relationship and enforce that, I'm here for you, that's not that bad. But it's kind of just like a baby's way out of it. I mean, if you break up, you break up, and you need to deal with the facts. I mean, you got to go on, and, there's so much anxiety with a breakup nowadays. It's the end of the world if you break up, but, oh, let's try and be friends. There's just too much going on with that. I can't see, even if you try and stay friends, there's jealousy that's going to be involved. There's so many different things that are going to be involved. And this article just talks about, the ties with big emotional risk and increased levels of ambiguity, and then the illusions of emotional safety. I mean, it's it's insane. I think it's insane that people try this soft breakup. I'm kind of the person when it's done, and move on from there. So going into Article 4.6, which is the social impact of hooking up. This talks about Tinder, one thing that we all have. It just kind of talks about how it's becoming socially acceptable to almost hook up with people because it's Tinder, and everybody has it, and there's seamless integration between the Facebook telling you your age, your sex, your profile pictures, who you're friends with, what your likes are. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to the article, the part of it. There's so much ambiguity behind it, kind of like with a soft breakup, where you want the person to send you a message right away so you can see if you're compatible, and half the time you're not compatible. You're just looking on physical appearance and kind of going from there. And some are going to argue that you gotta you're self-conscious, and you got to be self-conscious in yourself to choose people, and you're kind of what is the term, being shallow, I guess, because you're only choosing people on their looks and not really reading, because half their bios are nothing, and it's just kind of being socially normal to do this whole hookup generation, is what I've heard it being called before, is the hookup generation, where it's all right, and that it's kind of faked, because a lot of these pictures aren't real, and they're not showing the real person. It's just kind of going around it, and that's that's kind of what the article is saying. Is just more about how Tinder is making it socially acceptable on that in social networking sites, and we're linking them all together, and we're able to just really objectify, and just by pictures we can try and tell if someone's outgoing or social or nice or your match. And how can you really tell through pictures? I mean, honestly, it's not a great way of trying to meet somebody, where in the previous article it's saying online dating websites are the way to go. Tinder wouldn't be considered, in my opinion, even though some people would, as an online dating website, because how is it really helping? So those are the kind of my thoughts on all the readings, and understanding, kind of going through them, picking out some passages and going over them. So if you have any questions, let me know. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.